Hello everyone. So today we have a very special session and where we will talk something about CUET 2023, particularly how to prepare for English domain for CUET exam. Okay. So before we come straight to the point or how to prepare for English exam, some basic things about CUET which you all know, you better know. Okay. So anyways, CUET exam, which is the full form of which is Central Universities Common Entrance Test. Okay, and this would if you clear this test and if you score good marks, definitely you will be eligible to get admission into various UG and PG courses in central universities. Okay, so that's a very good chance or golden opportunity. Okay, now the thing is, when we speak about CUET exam, there are certain things which you need to keep in mind, and particularly like I'm Nisha Nair, and I will be telling you how to prepare well for English domain or English language for CUET 2023. Okay, now coming back to the basic things. Of course, the test is the type of test, the type of questions that you will be getting for CUET is MCQs, multiple choice questions. Okay, so that would be the type of questions. And now when we speak about the pattern of question paper, you have it divided into certain sections. Okay, so we have like section 1. Actually, section 1 is divided into 1A and 1B, where we have the questions based on various languages, and that is where we have our subject English. Okay, so that is section number 1, okay, 1A and B, and here we have English questions, and that we will see in detail after the next step. Okay, now section 2, the second section. Section 2 is all about your class 12 NCERT syllabus. Okay, so your class 12 NCERT syllabus based questions are what you get for section 12. So it is all about CBSE syllabus for class 12, based on which you have certain questions and which you need to attend, and those questions also are of course MCQs. Okay, now we have one more section, and there we have the questions based on GK, general knowledge. Then we have questions on current affairs, then general mental ability, then numerical ability, and such types of questions will be given for the third section, and that also will be MCQs. Okay, so that is all about something in general about CUET 2023 or CUET exam, and I hope you remember the full form of that, since you are going to appear for it very soon. So definitely you should know the full form of CUET, that is Central Universities Common Entrance Test. Okay, now I guess you have almost 1 month time to prepare for this, and for English you don't have to worry about anything at all. And now as the next step, I'll be telling you how to prepare well for English exam, the subject English. Okay, now for the subject English, see, actually you know what, like for English it's really easy to score marks. Okay, so unlike other subjects, why? Because it's not because it's my subject, but you know what, like for other subjects you need to learn and memorize a few things beforehand. You have to memorize a lot of things, and only after that you can attend the exam for other subjects. But when you come to our language English, the thing is you don't have to memorize many things. Of course, a few things are to be memorized, like the rules, grammatical rules are there, but then compared to other subjects, not many things to learn, not much to learn. It's all about how well you understand this language, how well you practice it. So that is how you can prepare for English exam. This is what I feel. Okay, now the thing is for this English domain or for English questions, you need a little bit of planning too. So when I say it's going to be easy for English, that doesn't mean that you can sit and relax. Of course, you have your task to do before the exam, and that is what I'm going to tell you, like what all things are to be done in advance so that you can write this exam fairly well. Really well, not fairly well, but really well. Okay, excellently well. Now, like it includes smart planning on your side. It should include like smart study too. Okay, so with these careful planning and careful study, of course, you can tackle English domain. Now, when you speak about the structure of questions that you will get for the subject English, of course, the total marks will be 200. Okay, and according to the structure of this subject, we have it in different types of questions, or else I'll tell you the syllabus which you need to prepare in advance so that you can easily understand the way how you are going to attend this exam. Okay, now structure wise, this is the structure. Okay, so first you have reading comprehension. And in reading comprehension itself, like more weightage is given to reading comprehension. Reading comprehension, you are familiar with this because most of you, even in class 10th and class 11th and 12th, you had these types of questions for your subject English. Okay, so where you will be given passages, not just one passage, it would be passages, that means 3 passages. Okay, and those types of passages, there are different types of passages also, like in reading comprehension, you have 3 types of passages which will be given to you, and the first type is, you call it as factual one, factual passage. Factual type of passage means you have a passage based on facts. Okay, like it might be about, one example is, suppose if it's a passage about population in India, statistics drawn on that. Okay, that means based on facts that you will be getting that particular passage. So that means for most of the passage which are factual in tone, probably you will be getting the answers quite straight. Okay, so factual passage itself would carry 10 marks. 10 questions, 10 marks. Okay, 1 mark, I'm sorry, not 1 mark each, but 10 questions. Okay, now again the second type of passage that you will get under this heading, reading comprehension, is narrative. And narrative passages are quite simple, almost like a story. Okay, and this also will be out of 10 MCQs. Okay, so remember, the narratives or narrative type of passages are almost story like stuff, or a personal experience is shared. A personal experience, it could be personal experience, it could be a kind of story, incident, about an event. So these are the types which come under narrative passage, and that also is included in reading comprehension. So right now we are talking about the first type of questions that you will be getting for English domain, and that is based on reading comprehension, based on passages that you get. And 2 types are already shown on the board. One is factual type, where the passage is all about facts, about a particular thing, all those scientific facts and all those facts related things would be given. So probably the questions also will be straight. Okay, and narratives also are quite simple because it's almost like a story type. So like it's easy, it's less time consuming. See, where we have factual passages, and let me come to the third type and we will have it together. So third type is what you call literary passages. Literary passages, that also for, we have 10 questions for that also. So literary passages also, here we have descriptive type, here we have a person's experience shared. So all these types would come under literary types of passages. So anyways, when you speak about these different types of passages, factual type is the one for which you need to spend a little more time, because it's all based on facts and you have to read it carefully, so it is a little more time consuming. But then comparatively, narrative type and literary types are less time consuming. But since, as you might have noticed, more weightage is given for reading comprehension, because we have factual, narrative, literary, 10 questions each. So 30 questions come from, or else will be based on, reading passages. So you can understand the importance given to reading comprehension. So you can't skip many questions from reading section. Okay. So reading comprehension is the first item in your syllabus, which you cannot skip since more weightage is given to it. And then we have 30 questions which come from reading comprehension, and the type of passages right now we have seen factual is there, narrative types are there, literary types are there. Narratives and literary types are less time consuming, and factual is a little more time consuming, but still like this will be comparatively easier, easy to understand, easy to comprehend, and that is why they said that it would be less time consuming. Okay, so this was the first item in your syllabus, English syllabus, and that is reading comprehension. So please note that more weightage is given to it, so definitely you cannot skip many questions. Okay, so this is the first type of question that you will be getting. All right, now we have the second item or second topic in the syllabus according to the structure pattern. It's all based on grammar. Second one is all based on grammar. And in grammar itself, we have subdivisions. Subdivisions in the sense we have verbal ability based questions. Okay, I'll tell you what verbal ability type of questions are. And then we have rearranging, okay, rearranging of parts of sentences. Okay, I'll explain. Then third type will be choosing the correct word. Correct word in the sense those words will be pronouns or prepositions or conjunctions or any such words related to grammar. Okay, so the second thing which you have got included in your syllabus is based on grammar based questions, where we have the subdivisions. Verbal ability. Verbal ability means, see, for verbal ability you need to focus on certain rules of grammar, like the rules on tenses, then rules on active and passive voice construction, then the rules on using prepositions in its proper place, use of conjunctions, those rules, and then the rules on changing direct to indirect, direct to indirect or indirect to direct. Okay, so all those rule based questions will of grammar can be categorized under verbal ability. Okay, rules of grammar, rules of tenses, active passive voice, use of conjunctions and prepositions, then direct indirect speech, etc., etc. Okay, so that is what you call as verbal ability. Now the second item which comes under grammar, rearranging of parts. Since you have attended several model exams for CUET, mock tests for CUET, you might have done questions based on rearranging of parts. One example is, suppose if a sentence is given to you, one full sentence is given to you, and a part of the sentence has been underlined. A few words have been underlined. And then since all the questions are based on MCQs or MCQ type of questions, you will be given certain options, so that from the given options you can choose one to rearrange those parts or else to substitute those parts. Okay, so like for example, like in the, I guess it was in the previous test that you might have attended, the Tigress, okay. Tigress, it's female, tigress. Birth to young ones. And birth to was underlined. And then a few options were given from which you have to choose one of the options, and then you have to substitute this part, and you have to automatically the whole sentence will be rearranged. So has given, the tigress has given. So according to that structure, the tigress has given birth to young ones. Okay, so that means this part which was underlined, which has been underlined, is wrong. You need to substitute it with the given options, and those options are given from which you have to choose, so that the whole structure of the sentence will be rearranged, and automatically you will be getting the correct answer. So that is the second type of question based on grammar. Then choosing the correct words. Choosing the correct words could be like in the passage form where a few words are missing, and then you have to insert those words from the given options, and those questions or those words could be prepositions, those words could be pronoun, the use of pronouns, and the different types of tenses. Okay, so choosing the correct word either in the form of a fill in the blank type of question, or else it could even be in the form of a passage where a few words are missing and literally a blank is given, and that is where you have to insert those words. Okay, so these three things, these three types come under the grammar based questions. This is our second second item included in the syllabus. Okay, so what was the first one? Reading comprehension. Okay, so I'm just trying to make you recollect those things which we have done right now. So first is reading comprehension, where we talked about 3 types of passages with 10 questions each, so more weightage was given to it. And then the second item in the syllabus, it's all based on grammar, and that itself has got subunits. Like those grammar questions will be based on verbal ability, rearranging of parts, choosing the correct words. Verbal ability means you need to solve the questions based on the rules on tenses, then rules on the use of prepositions, conjunctions, then changing active to passive, passive to active, then changing from direct to indirect, indirect to direct. All those questions come under verbal ability. Okay, and then rearranging of parts of sentences, those parts might have been underlined, and when you rearrange it, choosing one from the given option, automatically the structure will be rearranged and the sentence will be correct, grammatically correct. Okay. Then choosing the correct words, and those words will be, it could be a preposition, it could be conjunctions, it could be pronouns, nouns, etc. Okay, so these things come under grammar topics. Okay, now we have many more questions coming up. That means third item. Okay, so third item in the syllabus, English syllabus, it's all based on vocabulary. It's all based on vocabulary. Vocabulary means diction, use of words. Okay, use of words. Now, in vocabulary itself, we have different types of questions. Okay, so different types of questions, and those questions could be based on the use of synonyms and antonyms, and then idioms, etc. Got it? So these items will be based on, that's what you call like use of words or vocabulary. Alright, so the third item in your syllabus is based on vocabulary, and that too, synonyms, the use of synonyms, and make sure that you read the questions properly. Okay, so not necessary that you will be given the word synonym straight as the instruction in the question, or else the word antonym straight. You know what synonyms are similar in meaning, antonyms are opposite in meaning. So sometimes in the instruction of instruction which is given for the particular question based on vocabulary, you may not find the word synonym. Instead, the instruction will be find out a word which is similar in meaning to the given one. So that means you have to find out the synonym of the given word. Or else it could be, if it is antonym that you need to find out from the given option, the instruction will be find out the word which is opposite in meaning. So when I say use of synonyms and antonyms, it doesn't mean that it would be the exact same words used. In the instruction part, it could be given another way. The instruction could be given in another way, but then basically it's all about synonyms and antonyms. And then the use of idioms. Now when we speak about idioms, you will be lucky if you get those idioms in the form of examples or as sentences. So that at times you can, you can guess the meaning from the context in which it is used. Otherwise, you know that idioms have mostly they do not have any connection with the words printed. Okay, so since you have attended so many exams, you know how those synonyms are, not synonyms, idioms are given, where if it is given in the form of an example, it's going to be a bit more easier. Or else if those idioms are given straight, sometimes you will have a very tough time to find out the meaning, because those idioms will not have any connection with the words, literally no connection with the words. The meaning and words won't match. Okay, so anyways, that is all based on vocabulary. Okay, in short, what we have is, okay, first reading, where we have 3 passages, then second grammar, and third vocabulary. Okay, and we have seen the subdivisions also, verbal ability, then rearranging of parts, etc., etc. So reading itself will have 10 plus 10 plus 10 questions, total 30 questions. Okay, and then together grammar and vocabulary, you will have 20 questions. 20 questions, 20 MCQs. So that makes 20 plus 30, 50. Okay, in short, a total of 50 questions are what you will be getting for the exam. And out of these 50 questions, you have to attend any 40 questions. Okay, and each question carries 5 marks. That is, I guess, common for all the subjects and including English. So out of 50 questions, you need to attend any 40, and each question carries 5 marks. So in that sense, 40 into 5, so that would make it 200 marks. And of course, negative mark also is there. So you need to be very careful when you attend those questions. If you're not so sure about the answer, you need not attend it, otherwise it will go for negative marking. Okay. For English, I don't think you will have much trouble, because it's going to be easy. That's what I believe. Okay. So this is how the structure is: reading, grammar, vocabulary. Reading itself 30 questions. Okay, since we have 3 passages, and then we have grammar and vocabulary together 20 questions, and that is how it would become total 50, out of which you have to attend any 40 with one question with which carries 5 marks, and total 200 marks. Okay, this is the structure. All right. Now you have become familiar with the structure. Now the next thing is I'll tell you a few steps. I'll give you a few steps with which your preparation is going to be easier, comparatively easier. Okay, a few steps plus a few tips. Okay, now step 1. Step 1 to attend English exam is all based on reading comprehension. Okay, you know that it's already said more weightage is given for reading comprehension or reading passages, because you have 3 passages, right? And that too with 10 questions for each passage. So you know how much importance it's given to reading passage. So you cannot skip many questions there. Majority of the questions from reading passages you need to attend. You cannot skip, because out of 50 you have to attend 40. Okay, so in that sense you have that much importance given for reading passages. Okay, but unfortunately the problem is reading comprehension, that is more time consuming. That you know, because you need to spend time for reading, and reading takes a little bit of time, and especially if it is a factual passage, you may have to, of course in the case of narrative type and for literary type also, you may have to spend a bit more time, like 2 readings of the passage minimum. So in that sense, reading would take a bit more time. So it's a little bit time consuming. Okay. But then a few tips. Step 1 is all about reading comprehension. Okay. It's all about reading comprehension, which is time consuming. But here also you can, I'll give you a few tips with which reading comprehension also will become a bit easier for you. Okay. Like first tip. The first tip is, or tip A is, see, you need to understand the overall idea of the passage given. Okay, find out the central idea or overall idea of the passage. Why? Because you can expect questions on the basis of the central idea of the passage printed. Sometimes you will be asked to find out a suitable title from the given options, and those titles will be connected with the central idea of the passage. So in that sense, you need to know the central idea of the passage. Only then you will be able to solve many of the questions. Okay, so or most of the questions. So that's the first thing, understand the central idea. Okay, now the second point to remember is, you do not have to memorize anything. When you read the reading comprehension passages, you don't have to learn anything by heart. Okay, so do not memorize. Do not memorize the text or the printed item. Only read it, and if possible, read it twice. Okay, so do not memorize. So these are the things you have to keep in mind. Don't memorize the text or printed item, printed passage. Instead, you read it 2 times. All right. Now the third point to remember is, like it's already said, read twice. Okay, and the first reading could be a very quick reading. Got it clear? So first reading could be a very quick reading, and after that you go you go to the questions and try to solve a few. Sometimes after having a quick reading of the passage, and when you try to solve a few questions, you may find that you will be able to solve at least 2 or 3 questions out of 10. However tough the passage is. Okay, so have a quick reading. So this is the first reading. So read twice if it is required, and then after the first reading should be a quick reading, not very elaborate, because we do not have that much time. And then after that, the second reading, okay, at the time of second reading, things will be more clear to you. All right. Now final tip given for reading passages: attempt the easy ones first. Easy questions first. Don't get stuck with the hard types or tough types. Instead, attempt the easy questions first from the passage. Okay, and then when you read it twice, or when you go for the second reading, definitely you will be able to solve the other questions as well. Okay, so these are the things which you need to remember when we deal with reading passages. Okay, that is your step 1. So I am just giving you a few steps with which your English exam is going to be easier. Okay, step number 1 is all connected with reading comprehension, and whatever be the type of passages that you get, 3 passages will be there. You understand the central idea of the passage first, and then do not memorize anything from the text. You don't try to memorize, that is more time consuming. Instead, you just read it once, and that should be quick reading. The first reading should be quick reading, and after quick reading of the text, you try to solve a few questions. And if that attempt fails, read again, a little more careful reading, and then you solve other questions. And while solving also, try the easy ones first and then come to the difficult ones. Okay, so in that way your reading comprehension task also will be a little more easier. Okay, so that's all about reading step 1, which where we spoke about reading comprehension. Okay, now we have step 2. Step 2, it should be topic wise revision. Topic wise revision. That means you know the type of like questions that you get, or else in short you know the syllabus, right? All right, so when you know the syllabus, you know which all things are to be memorized beforehand, like the rules on tenses, the rules on changing from changing active to passive and passive to active, and then again direct to indirect and indirect to direct, and the rules of using prepositions, conjunctions, etc. These rules have to be learned by heart. For reading passage, you do not have to prepare anything beforehand. But for grammar and vocabulary, you have to do a little bit of revision on your part before the exam. So, topic wise, understand the topics that you get and then you revise the topics accordingly. Okay? For reading, you do not have to revise anything beforehand. It's just that the grammar based questions where you require the rules, that is where you need to spend more time for revising the topic. Okay. Now, step 3. Step 3 is attend maximum number of mock tests or model exams. Model exams for CUET. Why? Because you will understand how the questions are given, the pattern of the question, and the seriousness of exam also you will be getting only after attending a few mock tests or model exams. So that like you will be confident enough to like attend the real one. Okay. So attend maximum number of mock tests and model exam. And you know what, like in the site, CUET site itself, previous years' question papers are available. If not any mock test, if not any model exam, or along with that, if you have a self-test, like solving the questions that you get from the site, previous years' questions from the site, and you manage your time and you try to solve in the allotted time, it's going to be easy for you. So the second step is attend maximum number of mock tests and model exams, and also get maximum number of question papers from the site, previous years' question papers from the site, and try to solve it. And that could be a kind of self-test, so that you can keep the time and you can like you know very well how much time is required. Okay. Now finally, we have step 4, where careful planning is required. Planning is required. See, I told you you have 40 questions which you need to attempt out of 50. 50 questions will be there. You have to attempt any 40, and the total time which you can spend for attempting 40 questions, that will be just 45 minutes. Not more than that. So just imagine, I'm not trying to scare you, but still just imagine you have 45 questions where the 3 questions will be based on reading passages, and I right now ask you to read the passages twice, right? If not all the passages, it depends upon the difficulty level of the passage. In case if any narrative passages that you get and you understood everything after the first reading itself, do not read for the second time. Just because I said read it twice, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that you have to read even the easy ones also twice. Okay, it depends upon the difficulty level of the questions. Okay, or of the passages. So that's what you call careful planning. smart thinking and careful planning. So remember this, you have 50 questions printed, out of which you need to attend 40, and the total time which you will be getting to attend those questions, 40 questions, will be 45 minutes. So you need to get manage time management, careful planning and time management. That is your next step, management. So you need to manage time. That's why I said that attend maximum number of mock tests and model exams, or else at least go for the self test, because that will help you to maintain that time. Okay, so these are the steps which you need to follow for writing CUET English exam. Alright, so right now I just have given you the outer structure, or the structure, the plan, and some of the tips to do it well. But then we will have more sessions where a few topics could be taken or could be elaborated, like the rules on tenses, or else what are the major rules on tenses which you need to remember, or else in short, attend maximum number of exams. That alone will help you. At least you will get familiar with the pattern. Okay, that is very much required. That is very much required before you attend the actual test. Okay, so anyways, I'm not trying to scare you with anything. It's just that you can do it, especially for English. Of course, you can do it. Why? Because compared to, like I said earlier, compared to other subjects, for English, very less to memorize. It's more about how well you understand the language and how well you practice it. Okay, actual life use. Okay, so that was the section all about, and of course we will meet soon with small sessions like this, where I'll be telling you the details of a few topics. Like maybe for the next session, I'll tell you how to handle active and passive voice, and if time permits, we also will deal with the certain rules on grammar, like the rules on changing from direct to indirect and indirect to direct. So likewise, we can bit by bit we can solve, or we can handle all these things very smoothly, and you have enough time. Do not worry about the exam. It's going to be really easy. So good luck, best of luck for the exam. Thank you all for your patient listening. Thank you.